Los Angeles humbled me, and it humbled me in a good way, and actually made me getting to realization of things that I had spent so many years um, just out of touch. One of those things was nature. One of those things is really investigating what I enjoy or what fun looks like for me. How Los Angeles did it is, as you know and I know, is that Los Angeles is expensive as hell. It costs money to live in Los Angeles, and by having limited funds and not having many access to funds or rich friends, I had to learn to be resourceful. So my ass became very acquainted with a lot of libraries. I became acquainted with state parks. I became acquainted with city parks, and I'm being legit, like where I had to like Google parks in the area and what each park and hiking trails. And it also inspired me to get more fit, get more. People would wonder, that hadn't seen me for years, and see that I've been living in Los Angeles, and people go to the worst of worst. People are naturally negative, as I say. It's like, oh, losing that weight, something must be wrong with it. It was like, no, I went from going from my desk to a snack machine to picking up food to eating food for multiple years while living in Florida and Georgia, working technically desk job, not really having to do much but eat and shuffle back and forth from a table, to waking up on Saturdays instead of hungover and sleeping in, and waking up with and continuing the pile of food that I went to sleep with. I am now in process of hiking. I am up at a park reading a book. I'm at a park meditating, doing qigong. I'm out with friends going on a walk. Real shit that I learned too is that having to be forced into these things because I didn't have the money, or didn't have much money, or I had to have economical fun. It allowed me to seek out new people that were into a lot of the things that didn't require money. Like I started getting around people, as I say, that you actually had to hold a conversation with. There's some people that you really, all your interaction and stuff is based on what y'all are spending, where you're spending the time at, how you're spending the time. But I was able to get around people that I had to actually have conversations with. I was able to be in nature, get my body fit, get moving around, and it it humbled me in a better way. So now, what I had to do also is say, well, if I don't have the funds to do what I normally would do, I started to question the things. Like I say, I'm all on this introspection journey, about more so pointing the finger at myself and seeing what I can improve. So I was like, well, some of the shit I was doing, as I started to like observe it, I was doing it out of habit, out of, oh, this is what you're supposed to do on the weekends. Did I really enjoy some of that stuff? Some of the stuff I enjoyed, I ain't gonna lie. Some of the stuff I didn't really care too much about and was just doing out of habit. So once I realized that and removed myself out of behaving with and doing some of these things out of habit versus out of enjoyment, that cut a lot of money out the picture. And it made me wonder too, not only with myself, but with other people. Are there some things out there that we're doing that we can maybe cut back on or cut down on that maybe aren't beneficial to us, or maybe are just a waste of money, or maybe we can find something that's even more fun that we personally enjoy that only costs $300 instead of $600. I'm not just saying eradication and doing nothing. I know that's what a lot of people out here, preach when they're talking about saving money and being frugal and, cutting back on coffee and all this. And I'm not telling you to cut out shit, because I naturally know, just for myself, we want our shit when we want our shit. But what I am saying is that evaluating things to see, hey, maybe is this the best necessary thing for me? Is this the actual thing that I want, or is this something that I'm being programmed and told that I'm supposed to do on a Friday night? Or is this a place that I'm told that I'm supposed to be on Saturday or during this holiday? Or is it something I like to do? And I found out a lot of shit I didn't like to do, so I cut down a lot of money, and then I got a lot of enjoyment out of being humble, because now my schedule, I found out by being economical, I found out and started doing things that I normally wouldn't do, and I started to like those things, and I started to evaluate the things I was doing and figure out why, and get rid of the things that really weren't doing much for me and double down on the things. And what that created for me is I'm gonna call it a spear of doing shit that you like to do, which is a big complaint of people. Most of us are mad because we don't get to do the shit that we want to do. We're doing everything that everyone else tells us to do. So by being able to